The name River Phoenix elicits a wide array of emotions and reactions. Some think of the young prodigy who earned Golden Globe and Oscar nominations at an age where most of us are figuring out who we are. Others reflect on a talent whose life was cut short by drugs and the excesses that are so prevalent in the film industry. Either way you look at it, River Phoenix leaves behind a legacy of stellar performances, immediately establishing himself as a young and new force to be reckoned with. Whether you're watching Stand By Me or listening to his peers speak of their experiences with him, his is a short-lived legacy that will last forever. River Phoenix was the oldest of 5 children, the firstborn to Arlen Dunetz and John Lee Bottom, later being the older brother to sisters Rain, Liberty, Summer, and brother Joaquin. They also share a half-paternal sister, Jodine. His parents named him after the River of Life from the Hermann Hesse novel Siddhartha, and he received his middle name from the Beatles song Hey Jude. From the very start, the Phoenix family was on the move, always trying to make ends meet while the tribe continued to grow. River would play guitar while he and Rain sang on streets for money and food to help get by. He never attended formal school, so he learned all of life's valuable lessons and concepts outside a classroom and through lived-in experience. It's tempting to romanticize the idea of such an upbringing, but one can't ignore how it shaped River as a person and by extension as an actor, gifting him a natural confidence, wariness, and proactiveness that so few people his age had. After getting signed by a talent agent when they saw River, Rain, and Summer sing on the streets, he started commercials for the likes of Mitsubishi and Ocean Spray before being signed by Paramount Pictures. Through there, his resume grew through various TV gigs, ranging from ABC after-school specials about dyslexia to playing Robert Kennedy Jr. Yes, that one. His talents were put on full display, and TV audiences grew more and more to see him at work, eventually capturing the interest of those in the film industry. 1986's Stand By Me wasn't River's feature film. That distinction belongs to 1985's Explorers, but it's the one that put him on the map, with critics and audiences loving the coming-of-age film. Whether you watched it when it released in 1986 or now, almost 40 years later, one can't help but gravitate towards River's character of Chris Chambers. At just 14 years old during the film's production, he carried himself with a maturity and weariness that simply can't be acted. We have a star in our hands, and the only way from here is up. Peter Weir's The Mosquito Coast was another showcase of the man's talents, going one-on-one with the likes of Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren with the confidence and know-how of someone 20 years his senior. Weir later affirmed Phoenix's star quality, saying he was obviously going to be a movie star. It's something apart from acting ability. Laurence Olivier never had what River had. Even though he felt more comfortable and sure of himself here than with his performance in Stand By Me, The Mosquito Coast had a lukewarm response with critics, but it received more and more praise over time, eventually becoming a cult classic. The next film we're going to look at, however, caught fire immediately and practically became a rocket ship for River's career. In just his 6th feature film role, River Phoenix received Golden Globe and Oscar nominations for Sidney Lumet's Running on Empty. Playing the son of a fugitive couple who's trying to make a life for his own, Phoenix's performance holds the whole thing together, with Roger Ebert saying as much in his review. As it stands, River is the 6th youngest Oscar male nominee in the award's history. Although he didn't win, his performance in Running on Empty more than left an impression on the industry and continues to do so to this day. Then we get to his most high-profile role, where he played a young Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. It's a small role, but Phoenix effortlessly captures the recklessness and never-say-die attitude that defines his adult counterpart. Not once do we question if Spielberg casted the right man for the job, making for one of the funnest and thrilling cold openings in film history. If The Last Crusade was a trial run for River's prospects as a leading man, the rest of his career makes good on that promise. 1991 might as well go down as the River Phoenix double feature power hour by way of Dogfight and My Own Private Idaho. They both deal with romance, but it's River's ability to portray 2 wildly different characters with their own sets of emotions and nuances that make these 2 gems so special. One is a straight-laced US Marine, and the other a narcoleptic gay hustler. We were witnessing a bona fide leading man, someone who could give the role the depth and dimension at such a young age. Though he didn't receive the acclaim or nominations that he did for Running on Empty, it's My Own Private Idaho that further cemented Phoenix as an undeniable force in the industry, able to be at the center of a stacked ensemble and still stand out. His performance of Mikey Waters continues to be a seminal piece of queer cinema, helping bring LGBTQ+ stories to the mainstream with the love, care, earnestness, and attention it warrants. It was around the release of My Own Private Idaho that Phoenix started to use drugs, specifically marijuana, cocaine, and heroin. He still starred in films with features like Sneakers and The Thing Called Love rounding out his filmography. On October 30th, 1993, River went to the Viper Room, which was an LA nightclub partially owned by Johnny Depp. He went alongside Rain, Joaquin, and his girlfriend and former co-star Samantha Mathis. In the days prior, River reportedly went on a multi-day drug binge with Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist John Frusciante, neither of whom had slept for several days. River was set to perform with the band P, which featured Frusciante, fellow Chili Pepper Flea, Gibby Haynes of the Butthole Surfers, Al Jorgensen of Ministry, and Depp himself. In his book, Running with Monsters, musician Bob Forrest writes that Phoenix tapped him on the shoulder to tell him he wasn't feeling well and that he thought he was overdosing. Forrest told River that he didn't think he was overdosing because he could stand and talk. Nevertheless, he offered to take River home, but he declined and insisted he was starting to feel better. A few moments later, however, Forrest found Mathis screaming as River was lying on the sidewalk, having convulsions. Joaquin called 911, while Rain proceeded to give her older brother mouth-to-mouth. When word got out that River was seizing, Flea left the stage and rushed outside, accompanying him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Paramedics tried to revive him, but remained unresponsive. River Phoenix was pronounced dead at 1:51 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the morning of October 31st, 1993. He was 23 years old. After his death, tributes came flooding in for River, with the Viper Room becoming something of a shrine for mourners and fans to pay their respects to the actor. The club remained closed for a week, where a sign was placed on the window that read, "With much respect and love for River and his family, the Viper Room is temporarily closed. Our heartfelt condolences to all his family, friends, and loved ones. He will be missed." Depp continued to close the club every year on October 31st until selling his shares in 2004. A lot has been said and speculated about River's death. However, for the purposes of this video, we're mainly looking into River's contributions to the industry and the legacy he left behind. If you want more info about what may or may not have happened on the night of his death, you know where to go. When the wind blows, I see River. When the sun shines, I see River. When I look in someone's eyes and make a connection, I see River. To have death transformed into another way to look at life is his huge gift. Heart Phoenix. When news broke out that River had died of a drug overdose, his straight-laced, clean public image immediately changed to one that spoke of a cautionary tale. Comparisons of the equally shocking and sudden passing of James Dean were drawn, a story of an actor whose generational talent taken away from us. When we talk about River Phoenix, it's impossible to not let out a sigh and wonder what his career might have been if he were still here. In a little more than half a decade, he made up a filmography that few could wish to have in their entire careers. It's easy to fall into eternal speculation, wonder where the industry might be if his name could still be found at the top of a call sheet. But that's the beauty of the man's work. There's a reason why we talk about movies in the present tense. They can be paused, rewinded, fast-forwarded. But when we press play, they're here, ever present, always moving, and within it, as characters trying to make sense of the world around them. They're one of us, and for 2 hours we get to peek into their lives, understand their hopes, dreams, fears, and worries. River Phoenix has, not had, a screen presence that feels undeniable. The way he carried himself, how he stared at his co-stars with those intense, piercing blue eyes, leaves a mark on us, and will continue to do so. And that's one of the many beauties of cinema. They snap us into the moment, feeling a little fuller and with a heavier heart.
I want to, when he was 17, my brother wrote this lyric. He said, "Run to the rescue with love and peace will follow." Thank you.
There's a hole in the ozone, so life's worth